So come along with me as I travel through Europe. I was going to see Beyoncé, but ended up squeezing in a lot more. So a trip doesn't start off if you don't go to the lounge first. So started off in the Centurion Lounge, grabbing something to eat. I got me a little lemon drop. My homegirl got a cucumber margarita. I ended up getting 2 more cucumber margaritas before getting on the plane. Decided to fly KLM, which is a Delta partner. I wanted to be in business, but the way these flights were set up, I was cool with being in my economy comfort. I had my snacks, my iPad. I took my shoes off. I got comfortable. I ended up wrapping up my hair. This is a 10-hour flight, and so I didn't want to get to Europe and my curls be flat, so I pin curled them up before takeoff. Yes, I'm still wearing a mask on these planes because everybody is just a coughing and a hacking. And yeah, I ended up watching A Man Named Otto, which was such a good movie. Y'all should watch it. KLM offered 2 meals. This kind of looks nasty, but it wasn't too bad. And then I had it with a little red wine. It was like a chicken vegetable situation. I ended up putting my scarf on and pretty much knocked out for the rest of the trip. Tried to watch Jurassic Park, the latest one, but it wasn't that good. So I ended up turning on Beyoncé because that is the point of this whole trip. And that kind of led me right into breakfast, which ended up being pancakes with like this berry compote, some fresh fruit, yogurt, which I don't really eat. And then I had a glass of apple juice. Right at landing, we got off and bought tickets. Okay. Athena just bought tickets for the train.
We're going to take public transportation.
And we're now city living. So the way Uber was set up, it would have been so expensive to Uber from the airport. And we couldn't check into our hotel right away anyway. So we said we might as well get on the train. The train station was beautiful, very seamless. It took us right into Amsterdam Central. Well, we went to drop our stuff off first, and then we got back on the train to Amsterdam Central, stopped into Primark, which I get the hype because the stuff in there is hella cheap, hella cool. We walked into a mall, checked out some of the fragrances, which was also right there in the city central. Then we just kind of toured the city for the rest of the day. We looked at, what is the popping area, because this is the city center. We stopped into this really cute restaurant. It very much gave like Italian vibes. We just wanted quick, small bites. I got a little side salad. We got a drink, of course. But it was just such a cute, like, airy place. Felt very homey. First coffee shop experience. We have a little joint and a little cake because you can't come to Amsterdam and not get a little baked. Woo! Now beware of the bicycles in Amsterdam. There are so many bikes. It's unavoidable. Everybody's riding a bike. They're going to knock you over. Bikes reign supreme to cars. So be careful of that. We just kept roaming the city, ended up at another restaurant where we got a bottle of wine and just kind of people watched for a minute. Then we ended up ordering fries. Everybody over here likes their mayo and ketchup mixture, but I don't get jiggy with mayo. Look at this little car, and can you believe it was a little kid in the back seat? The canals are the showstopper. The views are spectacular. We ended up on a really sunny day. We stumbled into this bar. I don't remember the name of it, but the bartender was hella cool. She was very young, and so she was just really nice. Then we ended up in this restaurant. Now, the man over there on the right, he was sopping up a full bowl of food, which led me to believe that it must be good. So I said, we're going to eat here. And when I tell you this was the highlight of my Amsterdam trip, this food was so freaking good that I would go back just for it. I don't even know what this is called.
A special something.
I don't know. It was especially good. Oh my God.
Because it had everything in it.
So after being out all day yesterday, we didn't start our breakfast until like 6. This is our breakfast, which is a Mediterranean restaurant right down the street from our hotel, which was the Monet Garden Hotel. This was a great stay. It's very convenient. Right next to a metro station. The decor in there was pretty cute. That night we ended up going to Air Nightclub, which I believe this was a Thursday. Don't go on a Thursday. It's kids night or what they call a student night. But we still ended up having a good time listening to how they go up to their Dutch music and they intermingle hip hop. Somehow we ended up on the stage. I don't know if my hot girl days are still here, I guess. But yeah, the next morning we were catching a flight to London. So we knew we would be in Europe a few days. We wanted to maximize the trip. Decided to just take a quick skip over to London. The flight from Amsterdam to London was about 45 minutes. Again, Uber was kind of tricky. So we were like, let's just get on the train. The train system is so seamless. It's easy to handle, easy to do. We got on the train. The train is booming as you see people do it all the time with their luggage and whatnot. We were so hungry, we just stopped right into the first restaurant we saw, which was the Green Man. Just some quick bar food. Like, it makes no sense.
This is the only walking space. We're standing in it.
It's like, and that's it, folks.
And that's it.
Our hotel was so little that we knew we couldn't stay in there. So we were like, let's hit the streets. We went to the bar first. Where we were staying is kind of what would be the Los Angeles equivalent to West Hollywood. So there's all these bars, all these places to go. And so we were like, well, let's go sightsee too. So we ended up at Buckingham Palace because you can't come to London and not go see the palace, right? So the palace is big. That's pretty much it. It's a pretty cool thing to see, I guess. I don't know. I'm not royals obsessed, but it's cool to experience it. And so as we were leaving the palace, we noticed all these barricades and people starting to camp out. Come to find out, it was King Charles's birthday weekend. Okay, so he said, I'm outside. I'm turning up. So we said, what? The royals are in town? We need to come back. So we decided that we were going to come back the next day because the royals were in town. And how many people can say that they've been to London at the same time as the royals and could potentially see the royals? So we were like, no, we coming back. So we ended up just hopping on a double-decker bus to get back to our hotel. London is full of people. Like when people make the comparison between London and New York, I get it because it is booming. The double-decker bus was like a cool experience, which I'm trying to show you, but this lady was kind of in my way. But it was cool to sit up top and, get the view of the city straight from the windows. And, that's like the London staple. I was a brother, or I don't know. Right outside our hotel was a bar. So I ended up getting a glass of wine right outside our hotel. As you see, people just out on the street. And it's probably late at this point, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Like London for sure is booming. So like I said, the next day we woke up pretty early to get out there so that we could see the royals. These people were camping out for hours, okay? And we just walked up and stumbled right into them. So I don't know who these people are, but they're important because clearly they're in a carriage. But yeah. I don't know who they are, but they looked pretty. And then they had people playing instruments on horses, which is a lot. And so those first three, the one to the far left is Prince William. And then this is Kate and her kids. And I want to say that's Camilla sitting next to her, but I don't really know either. But I just know that they're a part of the royal family. And I can say I went to London and I saw the royals. Can you say that? No. So Aimé Leon Dore has me in a chokehold. I love this brand. I loved their store. Their setup of the store was so fire. They even had a cafe off the back. I ended up buying a hat because I loved it so much. And actually didn't even get the hat I really wanted, but whatever. Ended up at brunch at Scarlet Garden. This is the brunch spot in London, apparently. Like, there were so many people there turned up for their birthdays because you could do bottomless, and you could get a sweet and savory. So this was the savory, which I got was like a bacon something with like an egg. And I don't know, it was just really pretty. And then the sweet was some pancakes for me. And then my homegirl Hasina had got French toast. And so that was like a cool little brunch combo. I couldn't go to London and not have Nando's. Okay. So right before heading out to see SZA, I stopped at Nando's, had to eat it on the way because we were kind of like rushing to make sure that we made it to SZA in time. SZA was performing at the O2 Arena, which O2 is a big venue. They had a bar in their little mall thing, 4 shots for $18. You can't beat that. Y'all saw how tiny the hotel was, right? So getting dressed with 2 people was a lot, and I didn't have an electrical outlet for my curlers, so it was rough, but we made it. I don't really know much about this artist, but London was going up for her. I feel like she's a London native. I've heard this song particularly on TikTok, but they were going up for her. The London crowd was booming, okay? Security wasn't trying to let him be great. He said, I'm going to dance to Lil Uzi, and he was getting it. Like, people were going up at this concert. The kids were having so much fun. I felt so old. SZA was really great, and especially for the price point of these tickets. They were only $100, and that was like the resale value of them. She brought out Travis Scott, which was unexpected because we're all the way in London. What the hell is Travis doing over here in London? But she brought out Travis Scott, which was pretty cool. She looked really pretty. Like, baby, the surgeon, the body, the face. Please drop his info in the comments. I don't know. She looked really gorgeous. She sounded good. There were some times where she was lip syncing and it was pretty obvious, but I'm not going to hold it against her. Ended up getting some SZA merch. There was nothing that had Europe or like specifically said Europe on it. So I ended up just getting this motocross looking tee. And then Hasina got the one that looks like the Cash Money, like, you know, the tour merch. We didn't sleep this night because we had to get back to Amsterdam. So we were up all night, got in the Uber. It started raining. But at least I got a view of the London Eye and Big Ben on the way to the airport. We're now in the lounge. It's 5 a.m. But there's no time there's no time in the airport. You could drink whenever. And so we're back in Amsterdam, slept all day.
Our Renaissance ready in our silver and our sparkles.
We're giving alien, baby.
Okay, we're alien superstars. Seeing Beyoncé in Amsterdam.
I said, we saw the royal family, now we're going to see the queen.
Facts. We are alien superstarred, down, ready for the night.
Facts.
So Renaissance ready at this point. This is the main attraction. This is what we're here for. Everybody was just down, baby. Like, we took the train, which was a fun experience. By the time we got to the merch stand, they didn't have anything that said Amsterdam, so I ended up getting the one that just said, we outside all summer. It was so freaking hot in there, but everybody was packed in there like sardines. I had the time of my life. Like, I can't even hold you. If you are not Hive, please don't waste your time going to the Renaissance tour because you need to be Hive, okay? We're singing down. We're having fun. We're dancing. We're living. We're breathing. We're taking in the beauty that is Beyoncé. And I don't think the Dutch was ready. I don't think they were ready because B gave us all new looks that night. So in honor of Juneteenth, she was only wearing black designers and all new looks. And baby, this little fan of mine held me down the entire show. I have it linked down below because that baby was strong. Beyonce looked so freaking good. The hair was moving. Blue popped out. And everybody can't say they had Blue at their show either. And we got Blue. And Blue, she did her thing, okay? My cap sis was dancing her butt off. She had a time. She looked so good too. So shout out to Blue because we got Blue at our show. and Beyonce sang down. When I tell you that mic was hot, that mic was so hot, baby was singing her life away. It was just so much fun. This is my first of 3 shows that I'm going to. So I am just so ready for September to come because that's when I'll go see her again. I'm also seeing her on her birthday. Like, look at how the hair moved during Heated. That shit was so fire. Like, she just looks so good. She's got me motivated. By the time September come around, I hope to be snatched. Don't hold me to it. Unfortunately, Renee was a little injured, so she didn't fly that night, which is okay. Because I'm going to be able to see her fly at some point, hopefully. The next day, we ended up doing a canal cruise, which if you have the chance to do one of these, please do it. It's only an hour. It's unlimited cheese, unlimited wine. They give you a whole rundown of the canal system and how it works. And it's great. Absolutely great. The cheese, the aged Gouda was better than the other Gouda, their Gouda cheese. Do it. We're canal cruising. We've got cheese. And the wine, okay? It might not be the best, and that is okay, but it's unlimited. So drink as many as you can. Because by the time me and Hasina got off of this cruise, we was tipsy. Like, we probably drank 3 or 4 cups in that hour. But that's the whole point. You want to maximize your coins, okay? You want to get the most for the less, right? This is one of the prettiest views because it shows all of the canals interconnected. Really great view. Amsterdam is beautiful. Like, I love it. Ended up walking into Cannibal Royale. We kept seeing this restaurant and we're like, fine, let's just go. Hasina's vegetarian, so the name alone kind of took us aback because how is she going to eat anything? But we made it work. I ended up getting the steak, which was really good. Started with the Caesar. Our waiter, his name was Johan, named after the arena that Beyonce was at. So to Beyonce, out all night. Ended up getting fast food, which is literally fast food because you just press a button and grab it. Like, that's crazy. And then the next day was just our shopping day. So we started off in Gucci. I have been obsessed with these platform slides forever. And I finally was like, fine, I'm going to buy them. And I'm so glad I did because they're so freaking cute. And this bathroom in Gucci reminded me of my aunt's bathroom. She had a bathroom almost identical to this with all the mirrors on the wall. I don't know if that was like a 70s thing or what, but it was so nostalgic being in that bathroom. Stopped into Fendi because there was something I wanted to buy myself. Louis Vuitton, of course. And then Chanel. I knew I wanted to buy a Chanel when I came to Europe. Wasn't sure if I was. I knew I wanted a mini vanity. I knew I wanted a mini flap or a mini. I just knew I wanted a mini. So after looking at some of the options that they had, I really fell in love with this pink mini vanity. And largely because I'm a woman of Alpha Kappa Alpha. But the pink just was speaking to me, right? And I'm a mini bag girl, so... Now we're headed back to Los Angeles. We stayed at Hotel Sebastian, which is right on the canal. It's a nice boutique hotel. This is my last Amsterdam meal. These teas have had me in a chokehold. I wish they had them in America. Not the best meal, but shout out to Amsterdam for those teas. On the flight back, I tried to watch Creed, but Creed ended up watching me. I woke up just enough time to have what would be their late lunch, which was like chicken, potatoes, and broccoli. Ended up having a little coffee with my apple cake. And then I watched Minions, which was hella funny. Like, and we're back in smoggy Los Angeles. I'm ready for my next vacay. My bags might already be packed if anybody wants to take me anywhere. But even though I'm back home, I'm still an outside girl. Ended up going to Jill Scott the next day. John B came out with the opener. Doesn't he look so good? Like, John B looks hella good. Jill Scott performed her first album, Who's Jill Scott Volume 1, from top to bottom. And she is just so good. She's funny. She voice, mic is on. Okay, she voiced down. I ended up going to 3 concerts in 1 week.